If you do not like someone's story, write your own. Changing Narratives with Wambui Kabage.
Hi, I'm Wambui Kabage. Welcome back. In the last episode, we talked about the idea of mediation. So, you see, when you go and hire a lawyer, essentially you're hiring a warrior. But, wow. That's like serious. No, it really is. We are warriors. We're trained to fight. We're trained to attack. When you go to law school, your objective is to tell your story best, right? And what does that mean? It means that when you think you're coming to me as a lawyer to help resolve the family problems that we discussed previously, that's not my job. I'm not there to hold your hands and sing kumbaya and to cry with you. I'm there to attack a problem, right? And the problem is you want to divorce, right? You want a divorce. You want to end this relationship. That's what I'm here for. And, and to deal with the underlying issues, fine. I'm going to give you a solution. I'm going to put the issue to the judge and tell them, right, you resolve the issue of the maintenance, the child, all these other things, right? I don't really care. I'm sorry. It's true. I said this it sounds really heartless, but it's so true. As a lawyer, I'm not trained to care about your pain. I'm not trained to come and think, oh, how best can I resolve this so that you guys remain friends? That's not my training. And that's not bad, but right now, that's probably what you don't need, right? And so what mediation does is you're able to come to a person who is impartial, meaning this person doesn't know you or doesn't know the other side, doesn't have any interest in any of this argument that you have. For example, they don't own part of the property in, Kisaji that we were talking about, or Kisarian or Kajiado, whatever. They don't own part of that property. So they don't really have an interest in how this whole thing plays out, okay? So this third party sits in the room with you, right? And listens to both your stories. So here's the thing. I'll give you a story about what happened to me. And it's happened to me all the time and throughout the years. And I don't know why I didn't get that ding ding moment, or is it, as Oprah says, the aha moment. But I didn't get it because somebody comes into a room and they tell me their story. You see, the thing is with human beings, they're never going to accept responsibility. They're just going to tell you what puts them in the best light. Okay, so they're going to give me a story and they're going to say, oh, he did this, he did that. Oh, guess what? We went to Mombasa and oh my God, he was shouting at me in the lobby and blah, blah, blah. My son was there. And, as the person listening to the story, I'm like, oh my God, how horrible is this human being? Oh, terrible. And so they give you all the stories that explain why, or to justify why they should get a divorce. And I'm there, right, perfect. I'm there writing that story. I take the story and I send it over. And guess what? I get the exact opposite explanation of the same scenario, okay? And, sometimes I remember when I used to get these responses back, I used to read them and go, oh my God, my client is such a liar. But you know what? The client is not a liar. The client is saying what they experienced, their perspective of things, right? Right or wrong, it's their perspective, right? But the problem with that is then it creates a wrong way of looking at things, okay? It's not the truth as a universal truth. It's just their way of seeing things. But you see, to resolve a problem, you need both ways. You need to understand, yes, okay, you went to Mombasa. There was a shouting match in the lobby. Yeah, but why? Right? Why was there shouting match in the lobby? Well, you had promised you were going to pay, you were going to use this card, and then all of a sudden you decide, nope, I don't want to pay. And then all of a sudden there's a fighting match, somebody fights in the wrong way, somebody shouts, somebody pushes, but I needed to understand why that happened, right? To be able to understand and help you through that process, right? But lawyers are not going to do that. They're not going to help you with that because that's not their training. So what the mediator does is they bring you into a room together. And they ask you, sometimes depending on the hostility between the two of you, sometimes what happens is you get this one person who's like, I can't stand his face. I just can't stand his face. I don't want to see him. So part of the objective of the mediator is to say, listen, okay, fine. I'll take you away to another room and we're going to discuss. So the mediator, whichever way they do it, gets both sides of the story, right? And that's really important because once they get both sides of the story, they're able to unpack what's happening. They're able to say, what are the issues, right? And sometimes those issues are resolvable. You know, sometimes somebody can go to see a psychologist and be able to deal with the fact that, yes, maybe there's anger issues here. Maybe there's something else that's dealing with this thing. And once that person resolves that issue, they actually don't even end up needing to divorce, right? That's a really good scenario. Another scenario is, no, these guys just can't get along and we need to end this, okay? And if they end this, then at least you know what the issues are, right? And you can resolve those issues. Right? So for example, if you realize, no, we're not compatible, we can never live together, whatever, that's fine, no problem. But then now, how do you deal with the children? How do you deal with the property? How do you deal with everything? And the beauty with mediation at the end of the day is this. The mediator does not tell you what to do. I'm sorry, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I'll tell you why. Because you two are the only ones who know what's happening in your home. You're the only ones who know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So I'll give you an example. You go to a judge and he makes a determination that you're going to have children, okay? You're going to have the children, Mom, you're going to have the children all week, Monday to Friday. Dad, you're going to have the kids Friday evening to Sunday. Okay, it sounds like a good idea because, you know, Dad really doesn't want to trouble himself with the kids on the weekday, right? There's a little problem here. The problem is Mom gets the kids with all the homework, with all the struggles, with all the stress during the week. And guess what? Dad gets the kids. Dad gets the kids on the weekend where he can take them out for football, and they can have a good time, and it's all roses. And then guess what happens on Sunday evening? Dad knows, because he's really angry with Mom, that he's not going to bother doing any homework. So guess what happens? Kid comes home, books untouched, everything is a hot mess, and guess who has to fix that? Angry Mom. So what kind of relationship do you think kid's going to have with Mom and kid's going to have with Dad? Why? Because the judge decided how to divide this fairly is for Daddy to be on weekend duty and Mommy to be on weekday duty. I don't know about you guys, but there's a problem here. Okay? And so the beauty with mediation, for example, in this situation would be we agree on how we're going to divide having the children and how we're going to have access. But a court doesn't care. The judge doesn't care. And they're not going to do that for you. So how about this? I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a crystal ball. And in that crystal ball, you're going to be able to see into the future of what litigation in family disputes looks like. And maybe then you'll change your mind. Join me next episode as we look through that crystal ball.